Good afternoon to all. Today's topic is it is a revision class, vitamin B5 and vitamin B6. So already we are discussed about these two vitamins. So it is a repeat class. So in these two vitamins, first we are discussing about pyridoxine, vitamin B6. Why? Because with compared to these two, pyridoxine is somewhat important. So pyridoxine. So it is a B complex vitamin. So B complex vitamins, you know that all are water soluble vitamins. So on the experiment processes, especially on the rats, some scientists they are observing that dermatitis, skin problem. So with that, what are the rats? They are suffering with the dermatitis. They are given that vitamin B6 dose. Then they are observed that skin rash is cured. So then they are given that name. Vitamin B6 is a rat anti-dermatitis factor. So here you can remember this. What is the rat anti-dermatitis factor? So that means you have to give that answer. Vitamin B6 pyridoxine. Okay. So what is the chemistry of the pyridoxine vitamin? So pyridoxine, it is having a it is present as a three derivatives. Okay. First of all, it is converted to the three derivatives. What are those? Pyridoxine, pyridoxine, pyridoxal, pyridoxalamine. So here in that structure, you can see here this is the pyridoxine structure. It is having 6 carbon ring structure. Okay, 6 carbon ring structure. At the first carbon atom, it is having a nitrogen. Okay, in the second carbon atom, it is having a methyl group CH3, and the third carbon atom, it is having a hydroxyl group. Third carbon atom, it is having hydroxyl group, and fifth carbon atom, that is having a alcohol. So this is common for all pyridoxine derivatives, but here only variation that is present at 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth carbon atom. So here at the fourth carbon atom, that is containing different components. Okay, so depending on that component, they are given that name. Okay, so for example, here at the fourth carbon atom, it is containing alcohol group CH2OH. So here it is called pyridoxine. So if it is alcohol is present at the fourth carbon atom, that is called pyridoxine. If it is having aldehyde group, C double bond O, so aldehyde group, if it is containing aldehyde group, that is called pyridoxal. Okay, so if it is at the fourth carbon atom, it is containing amine group, NH2 amine group, so then it is called pyridoxamine. So pyridoxine, that is containing three derivatives. What are those? Pyridoxine, pyridoxal, pyridoxamine. So how it is basic synthesis that is takes place. So here we need to remember, we have to remember that this vitamin B6 pyridoxine we never synthesize in our human body, but we are getting some amount of vitamin B6 from the external sources. What are those? Either foods from the plants or from the bacteria. So from the plants we are getting direct vitamin, but from the bacteria, especially intestinal bacteria, during the metabolic processes in the intestinal bacteria, that vitamin B6 that is produced in intestinal bacteria. So from the intestinal bacteria, we are getting that vitamin B6. Okay. What are the functions of the pyridoxine? So here about pyridoxine, it is not having any function in our human body with the direct pyridoxine. Okay, pyridoxine, it is not having any functions. Okay, so if you need really some functions from the pyridoxine, first of all, pyridoxine that has to convert it to the as a coenzyme. Okay, pyridoxine that must convert it to the coenzyme. So here pyridoxine coenzymes are pyridoxal phosphate, pyridoxamine phosphate. So phosphorylation that is takes place to the pyridoxine. Okay, phosphorylation that is taking place to the pyridoxine. Then this pyridoxine that is converted to the pyridoxal phosphate, pyridoxamine phosphate. So how it is pyridoxine or pyridoxine derivatives, those are converted to the coenzymes. You can see this image. So these three are vitamin B6 derivatives. What are those? Pyridoxine, pyridoxamine, pyridoxal. So then after these are converted to the phosphorylation that is takes place. So after the phosphorylation, these are converted to pyridoxal phosphate, pyridoxamine phosphate. So how it is takes place phosphorylation? It is taking phosphate group from the ATP molecules in the presence of the enzyme kinase. So it taking phosphate ions from the ATP molecules in the presence of the kinase enzyme. So this reaction that is mainly depending on the another mineral, that is zinc. Okay, that is zinc. Okay, so this is about pyridoxine activation. Pyridoxine converted to the as a coenzyme. So then after these coenzymes, especially pyridoxal phosphate, it is participated in different number of functions. So what are those functions? First function is transamination reactions. So here in this image you can see this is the pyridoxal phosphate. So here pyridoxal phosphate function is it takes one amino group from the amino acid and it transfers this amino acids to the another molecule. So it is a acceptor for the amino acid and a donor to the amino acid. So here in the presence of the enzyme amino transferase, here pyridoxal phosphate is a coenzyme. So here in this reaction, this pyridoxal phosphate, it takes amino group from the alanine. So because of this alanine molecules, so here it is alanine aminotransferase enzyme. So then this amino group that is attached to the pyridoxal phosphate. Okay, this amino group from the alanine that is attached to the pyridoxal phosphate. Then after this pyridoxal phosphate, this amino group donated to the other substances. So here pyridoxal phosphate, that amino group is donated to the alpha ketoglutaric acid. Then this alpha ketoglutaric acid, it takes amino group from the pyridoxal phosphate, then it converted to the glutamic acid. So this is about transamination reaction. Next one is carboxylation reaction. So simple. Carboxylation reaction means that removes the carbon dioxide molecule from the substances. So here it removes the decarboxylation reaction means removing of carbon dioxide. So this removing of carbon dioxide reaction in the humans, that is mainly depending on the vitamin B6. So here one example you can say histidine that is converted to the histamine. In the presence of the enzyme decarboxylase. So here it is removing carbon dioxide molecule COOH. In that carbon dioxide that is removed and then converted to the histamine. So this is about decarboxylation reaction. Next, vitamin B6. Next function, vitamin B6. That is vitamin B6 having a main function in the sulfur-containing amino acid metabolism. So here, vitamin B6 play a important role in methionine and cysteine metabolism. You already know that. So here it is a methionine metabolism. So methionine that is converted to S-adenosyl methionine, then that is converted to the homocysteine. So here vitamin B6 role that is taking place. So whenever we have a sufficient amount of vitamin B6, this homocysteine that is actively converted to the cysteine and glutathione. Glutathione. If there is no vitamin B6 in this metabolic reaction, if it is not participating in this homocysteine metabolism, then that accumulation of homocysteine in the blood that is taking place. Accumulation of homocysteine that is taking place. So whenever homocysteine that is accumulated in the blood capillaries, here that homocysteine that damages the capillaries. Okay. So here it is the lesion due to excess amount of homocysteine that is present in the blood. So whenever there is a lesion surrounding that lesion that is attached by the cholesterol molecules, okay, cholesterol fatty acid molecules, then that forms a clump, okay, then that forms a clump. When there is a clump formation that is taking place, that obstruct the blood flow, so this may cause to produce myocardial infarction. This is also called heart attack. Okay. Next one is condensation reactions. So vitamin B6 that is participated in condensation. Condensation means binding. So here one example here you can see here heme synthesis. During the heme synthesis, at the first step of the heme synthesis, that is mainly taking place combining of two molecules. One is succinyl coenzyme A that is combining with the glycine molecule. Okay, glycine amino acid. So here this condensation that is mainly depending on the pyridoxal phosphate. This condensation that is mainly depending on pyridoxal phosphate in the presence of the enzyme ALA synthase. Okay, delta amino levolinate synthase. So during the condensation that removes sulfohydryl coenzyme A. Then that produces delta amino levolinate. Then that is participating in the formation of the heme synthesis. So whenever vitamin B6 pyridoxal phosphate that is reduced concentrations, then it is not participating in this condensation reaction. So then what happened? Hemoglobin concentration that is reduced in the blood. So that condition is called anemia. Okay, anemia that is taking place due to vitamin B6 deficiency. Okay. Next one is deficiency manifestations of pyridoxine. So if there is any problem in the pyridoxine concentration in the blood, if it is reduced in the blood, what happened? So here if it is reduced pyridoxine concentration in the blood, so then what happened? Then that is producing some neurological manifestations. Okay, some neurological manifestations. Why? So neuron, what is the neuron function? Neuron function mainly that to transport nerve signals from the one place to another place. That means one neuron to another neuron or one neuron to muscle. So that is the neurotransmitter function. So here for the transport of signals from the one neuron to another neuron, that is mainly depending on the neurotransmitters. Okay, neurotransmitters. So then only if you are having sufficient amount of neurotransmitters, then that signals are transfers from one neuron to another neuron. So here neurotransmitters are examples. You can see serotonin, epinephrine, noradrenaline, gamma aminobutyric acid. These are all neurotransmitters actively participated in the transferring of the signals. Okay. So here for the synthesis of these neurotransmitters, that is somehow that is depending on the vitamin B6 pyridoxine. Okay, vitamin B6 pyridoxine. So here I am giving one example: serotonin formation, serotonin synthesis. So here serotonin synthesis that is depending on tryptophan. Okay, tryptophan. So here tryptophan that is converted to the serotonin in the presence of the enzyme decarboxylase along with coenzyme pyridoxal phosphate. If we are having pyridoxal phosphate sufficient amount that activates the decarboxylase enzyme, then that tryptophan that is converted to the serotonin. If there is no pyridoxal phosphate, there is this decarboxylase enzyme that is not activated, then tryptophan that is never converted to the serotonin. So here this is the function of the PLP, pyridoxal phosphate. Next one is dermatological problems, dermatological manifestation. For example, here pellagra. So pellagra means skin irritations, okay, skin lesions. You can see different types of symptoms around the cheeks, neck, okay, palm. These are all skin problems. So these are all due to niacin deficiency. Actually, these are all due to vitamin niacin deficiency. Here, some amount of niacin concentration in the blood that is depending on the vitamin B6 pyridoxine, because tryptophan during the tryptophan metabolism, some amount of tryptophan that is producing niacin vitamin. So this tryptophan metabolism, some amount that is mainly depending on the vitamin B6. That is mainly depending on the vitamin B6. When there is a reduced concentration of vitamin B6 in the tryptophan metabolism, there is a chance to reduce niacin formation from the tryptophan. So niacin concentration, some amount that is directly related with the vitamin B6. Okay, this is one function manifestations. So sources, you know that very well. All sources you can mention: beans, nuts, fish, meat, eggs. You know very well. Normal range. This is very important. Everyone has to remember this normal ranges. Okay, normal range in the blood pyridoxine, that normal concentration is 5 to 50 micrograms per deciliter. Blood per 100 ml will require 5 to 50 micrograms. So if we need to maintain this 5 to 50 micrograms per deciliter per day, we need to take 1 to 2 milligram per day. 1 to 2 milligram per day. Okay. So here some amount that is increased in the lactating and pregnancy women. So that is around 2.5 milligrams per deciliter. In the normal persons, 5 to 50 micrograms that is present in the blood, but taking 1 to 2 milligrams per day. But in the pregnancy and the lactating women, they are required little bit more, that is 2.5 milligrams per deciliter. Like that, in the chronic alcoholics also, they require more amount of vitamin B6. More amount they have to take vitamin B6, because due to chronic alcoholism, that alcohol that kills intestinal bacteria. So that formation of B6 from the intestinal bacteria, that is reduced greatly. So chronic alcoholics, they have to take more sources, more external sources they have to take for vitamin B6. Okay. Next point is intake of protein rich diet increases the requirement of vitamin B6. So when we are taking more protein diet, we require more vitamin B6. Why? Because more protein digestion. Proteins are what it is containing amino acid. So amino acid digestion, that is some amount of amino acid digestion that is depends on vitamin B6. So that's why when we are taking more protein, we have to take vitamin B6 more also. Okay. Some doses, some people, they are taking 100 milligrams per day. Okay. So doses over 100 milligrams may lead to sensory neuropathy. Whenever some people, they are suffering with the nerve problems, they are taking 100 milligrams above vitamin. Okay. That may be due to some symptoms: imbalance, muscle weakness, and nerve damage. Due to who are suffering with these symptoms, they must take 100 milligrams above vitamin B pyridoxine they have to take. Okay. So that is about vitamin B6 pyridoxine. So next vitamin is pantothenic acid. It is also a water soluble vitamin. it is a vitamin B5. So here pyridoxine is a rat anti-dermatitis factor. Pyridoxine, vitamin B6 is a rat anti-dermatitis factor. But here vitamin B5, pantothenic acid, is the chicken anti-dermatitis factor. Chick anti-dermatitis factor. So here clearly you can see the symptoms: dermatitis problem of the foot of the hen. Okay. So here it is a dermatitis problem. For this also they are given that vitamin pantothenic acid, then that is cured. Okay, so then that they are given that name chick anti-dermatitis factor. What it is? Vitamin B5. Okay, pantothenic acid. What is the chemistry? What it is content structure? So in that pantothenic acid, it is mainly containing two components, combined two components. What are those? Beta alanine part that is combining with the pantoic acid part. So pantoic acid part that is combining with the beta alanine part. So that is pantothenic acid. So in that tablet form, actually it is a viscous yellow oily substance. That's why whenever we are taking B complex vitamin B5 tablet, our urine is also there may be a chance to come yellow colored urine due to this yellow color oily substance of the vitamin B5. Okay, biosynthesis and absorption of the vitamin B5. So here it cannot be synthesized by humans or animals. So it is for the vitamin B5, we are highly depending on the external sources and also from the intestinal bacteria. Okay, so here in that sources, pantothenic acid, it is not directly present. So in that sources, that is present as a pantothenic or pantothenamide. So pantothenamide in the bacteria, and in the plants pantothenic. Okay, whenever we are eating or whenever that bacteria reach present in the intestine, then this pantothenamide or pantothenic, first of all, that has to convert it to the pure vitamin. Okay, pure vitamin. Then only intestinal absorption that is taking place. So in the intestinal enzyme, in the presence of the intestinal enzyme, what it is contained? Pantothenase. Pantothenase, that is a intestinal enzyme. In the presence of this enzyme, this pantothenamide and pantothenic, these two are converted to the pantothenic acid. Pantothenic acid. Then this pantothenic acid, after absorption, this is converted to the coenzyme A. Coenzyme A. So coenzyme A is containing pantothenic acid. Okay. So this is the process of conversion of vitamin B5 pantothenic to the coenzyme A. It is not required. Just you have to know vitamin B5 that is present in the coenzyme A. So in biological system, pantothenic acid exists in its active coenzyme A. So how it is exist in the coenzyme A? So this is the structure of coenzyme A. What it is contained? Adenine diphosphate. It is containing two phosphate ions. Adenine diphosphate. That is to the phosphate group that is attached to pantothenate. Then this pantothenate that is combining with the mercaptoethanolamine. Okay, beta mercaptoethanolamine. So finally it is containing sulfohydryl group. Finally it is containing sulfohydryl group. This is the coenzyme structure. So it is a complex molecule. Okay. So how it is reaction that is takes place. So here two reactions you can see. Pyruvate converted to the acetyl coenzyme A. So for the conversion of pyruvate to the acetyl coenzyme A, that is required coenzyme A. That means vitamin B5 containing coenzyme A. So before conversion of the pyruvate to acetyl coenzyme A, pyruvate, it lost its carbon dioxide, and then to that first carbon atom, this coenzyme A that is attached. Then this is called acetyl coenzyme A. So this acetyl coenzyme A, then after that is converted to the citric acid cycle, that is participated in citric acid cycle, that is converted to the citrate. So here sulfhydryl coenzyme A that removed, and then carbon dioxide that is attached to the wherever that removed sulfhydryl coenzyme A, there see carbon one oxygen molecule that is combining here. Okay, so this is the coenzyme A adding and removing from the substances and products. Functions of the pantothenic acid. So pantothenic acid directly it is not having any function. So whenever it is converted to the coenzyme A, whenever it is inserted into the coenzyme A, then that coenzyme A that is participated in different reactions. Okay, so here one example, alpha ketoglutarate that is converted to the succinyl coenzyme A. So here in the presence of this vitamin coenzyme A sulfohydryl that attached to the that removes carbon dioxide, there this coenzyme A sulfohydryl that is attaching here. So then this is the main function. Then it is sectional coenzyme A, then that is participated in different reactions. So deficiency, whenever pantothenic acid deficiency that is taking place, we are observing that there is a lot of pain, burning pain. Okay, that is the main symptom of the deficiency of the pantothenic acid. That symptom is called Gopalan burning foot syndrome. Gopalan burning foot syndrome. So this is the symptom. Okay. Sources, you know that normal ranges in human blood it is containing 30 micrograms per deciliter. In human blood we have to maintain 30 micrograms per deciliter. So if you wanted to maintain this 30 micrograms per deciliter, that daily requirement of the taking that is around 4 to 7 milligrams per day. Okay, 4 to 7 milligrams per day. So requirement of pantothenic acid increases during oral antibiotic therapy, pregnancy and lactation. So during these conditions we need to take some more amount of RDA. Okay, so that is about two vitamins, vitamin B5 and vitamin B6. Thank you.